Hey everybody, happy Friday and welcome to another edition of The Daily here with Josh Weisenhunt. I'm Nick Fershaw. We're starting off this morning with some big-time contract news for Sporting Kansas City star midfielder Graham Zusi. The club announced early on Friday morning that they have signed Zusi to a new deal, something that Rob Heineman, the CEO over at Sporting, actually tweeted out on Thursday evening. So the cat was definitely out of the bag. The official word comes down Friday. Unfortunately, no terms of the deal disclosed, but Heineman telling everybody Zusi's going to be around for a while. That's good for MLS fans and very good for Sporting Kansas City.
Of course. I mean, it's absolutely huge. And I think a lot of people that see this move happen are really treating it with really surprise. There haven't been hardcore rumors surrounding Graham Zusi and where he's going to go and where his future would lie after MLS. But if you've watched the guy play this season, it's pretty clear that he has just enormous potential and ability. I mean, you could argue he's been the best player in MLS this season. And if you know Rob Heineman, you know he really values Graham Zusi very highly. And I mean, that's absolutely imperative to keep him there for that team and really for MLS. So it's good to see him sticking around for a little while.
Other contract news up in the Pacific Northwest. There is reportedly a deal on the table for former Seattle Sounders star Fredy Montero to join famed Portuguese side Sporting Lisbon. Now, Montero has not played for the Sounders this year. He's been on loan down in Colombia for the past 6 months. But if he goes to Lisbon, which the deal is supposedly in place, Adrian Hanauer confirming that this is not a rumor. That means the Seattle Sounders could get a very big chunk of that transfer fee and use it for the allocation this summer, whether or not they want to go shopping. Log on to MLSsoccer.com, find out more about that, and if they're going to spend their money on Mario Martinez. Next up, putting a bow on the U.S. under-20 national team. They were in the World Cup in Turkey on Thursday, the final game of the group stage. They needed a win against Ghana, unfortunately unable to get it. A 4-1 loss. Ghana really has a hex, a sort of kryptonite feel against the U.S. teams in the youth ranks and the senior team level. So the U.S. knocked out of this tournament, but you look at the individual performers, guys like DeAndre Yedlin, Luis Gil. Who else stuck out for you over this tournament for Tab Ramos?
Yeah, you mentioned those two. There were a couple bright spots for the U.S., of course. It was a pretty disappointing result yesterday, but I think you have to look at Shane O'Neill, the young defender back there for Colorado Rapids. I think if you've been watching the Rapids this year, you've seen he's put in some good performances, but I don't think he's really reached that scale that a guy like Yedlin has, that a guy like Gil has, maybe Villarreal, who also didn't really live up to it this tournament. So I think Shane O'Neill, he can play midfield, he can play center back, obviously, as we've seen. It's going to be fun to watch his development over the course of the rest of this season for sure.
Young players always a big topic among MLS fans. Let us know what you think. Who played the best in the U.S. under-20s and their performance out in the World Cup in Turkey? You can post your comments in the section below. Last but not least, looking forward to another weekend in MLS. 2 games on national television and 1 for free on MLSsoccer.com, the stream of the week. I want to start with what I think is the best game of the weekend. Philly at home against FC Dallas on Saturday, 5:30 Eastern on the NBC Sports Network with a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. If you told me before the season that this would be the best game of the weekend, I would have said you're lying. But Philly, the way they played lately, and Dallas, one of the best teams in the West. What do you think of this game?
I think it's going to be great to watch. And honestly, I think Philly are going to be licking their chops a little bit. Obviously, there's some doubts surrounding that FC Dallas backline. Don't know whether Matt Hedges is going to be in or out for this one. And FC Dallas did have that Open Cup fixture midweek, so they're going to be tired. And they're going to PPL Park. Going to see if Jack McInerney can see if he can notch a goal or two before he heads off to Gold Cup duty. Probably eager as he didn't get one last weekend in that big one against New York. It's going to be fun to watch.
Should be a good one again. 5:30 p.m. Eastern on Saturday, the NBC Sports Network. Then later on Saturday night, it's the stream of the week on MLSsoccer.com. San Jose Earthquakes at home against the LA Galaxy, 10:30 p.m. Eastern. Log on to MLSsoccer.com. It's the stream of the week, and it's a good one. And then on Sunday, 2 p.m. Eastern, the New York Red Bulls at home against the Houston Dynamo. It's on ESPN2 with a live chat on MLSsoccer.com. Catch complete schedule of all the games. MLSsoccer.com/schedule. And don't miss the latest edition of Extra Time Radio. The podcast came out on Thursday. Kyle Beckerman from Real Salt Lake and the U.S. national team joined us. You can find that on iTunes, Buzzsprout, and Stitcher Radio. That does it for us. We'll see you back with another edition of The Daily on Monday.